So in my previous video, I briefly talked about how Hollywood, or just movies, TV shows, etc., always gets asthma wrong in how, they show someone having an asthma attack and how they show people taking an inhaler. So I thought as an actual asthmatic, I would show what asthma actually is for reference or for people who would like to know. Because what if your friend is having an asthma attack and can't, or just, you're a writer or you're doing your own TV show thing, and even though asthma is a fairly common condition, you can't be bothered to just look that shit up. Though, considering the fact that, I know no one in my life, unless they have asthma as well, knows anything about asthma, I guess that's why. So, I will sit here and I will tell you everything I know about asthma. So, yeah, so, asthma, two different types. There's two different types. Okay, well, there's two main things that will cause asthmatic reaction. So, exercise-induced asthma, which basically is when you're doing too much cardio and your lungs, you just can't breathe and everything else. And because here's the thing that people don't know, even a lot of people with asthma don't know this, is that asthma is actually an autoimmune disorder. What does that mean? Is that it means that the immune system is attacking you. Like, your immune system is attacking you, which is fucking bullshit. Fuck off, immune system. Stop attacking your own body. You're supposed to attack bad things, not good things. Like, lungs? You need those things. Viruses and shit, and bacteria, don't need those things. Those things bad. Go ahead and attack those. Anyways, sorry, I have my little inhaler here, and I keep on talking with it, but I'll put it there. Okay, so yeah, so if you're exercising and you're doing too much cardio, then, you're irritating the lungs, and then and you have your asthma things, which I will explain. So basically what happens is that you have your windpipe, and then and then it kind of separates into to go to the two separate lungs, and then it kind of branches out into the bronchi, which is how, it spreads the air into the, sacs that are the lungs. So that's your windpipes, your airways kind of thing. That's what people talk about when they're airways. And so when you're having asthma problems, the lining of it, I will link a video in the description which has an animation of what this all looks like. The lining of it is swelling, so it's the windpipe that is getting smaller. So if your windpipe was that big, now it's that big. So less air is able to come through, which is what causes that wheezing. So you're out of breath a lot because you're not able to get as much air in with each breath. So air in and out. And then another thing, but oftentimes if you have to do cardio, then you will take your little inhaler here, and you'll take a puff or two 5 minutes before doing the cardio. So for example, if I want to go for a bike ride, then I would take two puffs of my inhaler 5 minutes before I head out. So, and then I'm fine to do my bike ride. And then the second type is for, if it's an allergy causing the asthma, and these are known as asthmatic triggers. So that means that there is something in the air that gets into your lungs and is similar to an allergy and causes an allergic reaction. So it causes the same sort of thing to happen where just breathing in this substance will cause the windpipe to go from this to this, but also a production of mucus. So already you're breathing through a much smaller windpipe and airways and bronchi and everything else, and now it's filled with mucus, so you can't fucking breathe, but you're also coughing, and so it's harder to get your inhaler, so that's a fucking fun time. So examples of asthmatic triggers are things like dust, mold, cigarette smoke, perfume, pollen, grass for some people, brain's frying, I can't think of anything else right now, but there's several different ones for different people. However, pollen and perfume and smoke and things like that are common ones. So So yeah, so oftentimes, so if you are oftentimes, now these inhalers, there's different types of inhalers actually. It's not just like, you know, the one inhaler. Okay, that's, just hold on. There's like take as needed, your emergency inhaler, which is usually Ventolin, I think is what it's called. Oh, that's not, I have the knockoff brand, I guess, because that's not what it says on here. But my doctor says it's Ventolin. So what that is that it will, if you're actually having the trouble right now, then and there, it will open up the airways for you so that you can breathe. And then there's other types, which are usually in the orange. So, you know, this one's blue. That's how you know it's Ventolin. And then the orange ones, I think, is the one where you just take it at regularly, like, you know, once a day or something. And oops, daisies. And then you will, it'll help to treat your asthma overall. I do not have one of those, annoyingly. I think I need to go to the doctor and talk about my asthma because it's been getting worse as time's gone on because of things. But anyways, that's another issue altogether. So when does one take these inhalers? I think that's kind of obvious, but the thing, like I've mentioned, if you know that you're going to be exposed to something that is going to cause your asthma, you can do it as a preventative measure, but oftentimes it's taken as a, I can't fucking breathe, or I'm having difficulty breathing, I'm going to take it now. So usually you try to get it as soon as you're noticing your difficulty breathing, so you can still breathe, but you're not to the point of actually having an asthma attack. Because the thing is, how Hollywood or movies and TV shows people taking their inhaler is not how you're actually supposed to be taking your inhaler. And I understand, like, if you're actually having the asthma attack, you can't go through the proper method, because I will show you, once you see what the proper method is, you will understand. But oftentimes you will see someone who isn't actually at the point of asthma attack just going like, okay, getting a little out of breath here, alright, okay, now I'm going to continue talking immediately after. I'm like, that's not how you take an inhaler at all. So I will show you how you take an inhaler, except I've been talking for a while, so my mouth is dry as fuck. I'm going to take some water first because, hold on. You know, like, I personally, my mouth is just dry in general. I just thought, you don't have to drink water before. My mouth was dry and I was like, I have a break here, I'm going to use it. So, obviously, a little cap off. Gotta shake it. And then, there's 3 main steps. And I will list them afterwards because I can't during, as you will see why. So, or no. Okay, I'll list them before and then you'll see them. So you empty your lungs, puff, suck it all in, try to get as much of it in your lungs as possible, and then hold your breath for as long as you can. So you'll see, make sure it's all nicely shooken up. Oh, okay, I'll do a little too long, I'm busy. Alright. So, that's how you're actually supposed to take your inhaler. So if someone's doing a puff of their inhaler, that's what they're supposed to be doing. Now, granted, if you're actually to the point of an asthma attack, you can't do that full process because, like, as I've learned more recently, like, if you're like, you're coughing and you're wheezing and you don't have that much control over your breathing. So you basically are just like, you try to do it to the best of your ability, but that's the time that you can just go, like, try to get, just basically you're trying to get that medicine into your lungs. So, but if you're having someone who is just doing it as a preventative thing, or they're just starting to have difficulty breathing, and in your movie and TV show or whatever, and then they just go, oh, hi, I'm going to continue talking now, it's not going to do anything. Because you have to, first of all, like, the emptying the lungs thing is so that when you inhale it, you can fill up your lungs with it and get it all the way deep into your lungs, and then you hold your breath to hold it in there so it can perforate or whatever the fuck, so that you get the most out of your dose. So, yeah. Also, asthma's not fun and can be life-threatening. Because it's funny, because asthma is not as taken as seriously as, and I never even took it as seriously until recently. But yeah, nowadays we have medicine, and it's incurable, which sucks. Lots. Nowadays we have medicine for it, but before we had inhalers and things like this, it was a very serious condition, and it was a disability. And if you had asthma, then you had no fun. You couldn't play with the other kids. You were stuck indoors in case you were exposed to your fucking asthmatic trigger, because if you were, there was nothing you could do about it. And I mean, I'm just thinking about recently, like how I mentioned in my other video about perfume. If I had been exposed to that perfume and I had that asthma attack and I didn't have my puffer, then I would have needed hospitalization. So yeah, I can totally understand how it could have been it is a very serious disability, but luckily we have something for it nowadays. But the thing is that if I don't have this, like, I keep this in my pocket everywhere I go, just in case, but it can be life-threatening because we're talking about someone's ability to breathe. So yeah. Also, don't be making fun of someone because they're getting out of breath easily, because honestly, like, I am overweight, I am gonna admit this, but a big part of that is because it's really hard to work out when you get out of breath really easily. So, but a lot of times I feel so self-conscious when I get out of breath easily because, you know, oh, you're so out of shape. I'm like, no, hold on a second. When I was in shape, I accidentally just tossed my nail. Anyways, when I was in shape, I still had asthma. I first got the asthma diagnosis and my puffer and everything else while I was very much in shape. It was just, and I mean, shit ton of people in my family have asthma, and my parents smoked, so that really fucked up my lungs and everything else. So, and also, like, my house growing up was just full of dust and mold and things like this, so it sucks, and there's not much I can do about it except for treat the shit as it comes. And also, I really should talk to my doctor about getting that, like, thing that you take once a day to improve your lung health overall, because I just realized while making this video that I don't have that and my lungs are shit. So yeah, please don't make fun of asthmatics because it's a serious condition that we can't do anything about. Thanks for watching.